Tell me what's happened in the last year and a half and how the experience has been.
Since we last talked, I've had 2 fights since then, and I've won one and I've lost one. So I've had a chance to taste both, the high and the low.
Mm-hmm. Now, how difficult was the loss? It was an amateur fight, right? So you don't have to worry about that. But is it still a difficult thing to deal with?
For me, it was very difficult because I know the mistakes I made, and I know that I could have won that fight. Mm-hmm. But it also, humbled me, a little bit more. I was always humble, but, humbling me a little bit more. It helped me focus on things that I know I gotta, improve on, and definitely my weaknesses, so.
Now, I know a lot of guys have a hard time coming off a loss and just don't know what to expect or just don't deal with it properly. So, what kind of helped you with it too? I mean, did you have a supportive team?
Oh, definitely. They're the first ones, in the locker room. Like right when I walked away from the cage, I was so disappointed. I was heartbroken, and the first ones picking me up were my teammates. Because they're the ones that are in there with me every day. Grinding with me every day. Blood, sweat, and tears. They know what it feels like. Because no one in this gym is undefeated. So everyone here knows what it's like to face that heartbreak. So that meant a lot to me that my team was there for me. And, that encouraged me more, to, just get back in the gym right away and just start learning and improving.
Very cool. Now, has anything changed in the year and a half that has made you question training, made you question fighting? Or are you still, this is your path, you're on it?
Yeah, this is my love, I'm in love with this sport so much, and it'd be a damn shame for me to go from 4 years old all the way to 22 and then quit now for no apparent reason, Like wins and losses, that's going to happen, but my love for the sport, that's always going to be the same. And my motivations for why I'm doing this is always going to be the same.
Now, let's talk, remind me of your motivations. Like, why are you fighting? Is it to, I know you talked a lot about your dad and, making him proud and everything, but, why are you fighting? Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for the love? What are your reasons for doing this?
Most of all, I'm doing it for myself because I've got my own, inner fears that I want to conquer. And going into a cage in front of thousands of people, that's a good way to do it. And just the sense of accomplishment that I feel after hard training camp, going into a fight and winning, losing, whatever it is. As long as I know I put 100% into that training camp, that sense of accomplishment and confidence and courage, that I feel coming out of there, that's what I do it for. And of course, always going to do it for my family and doing it for God. Those foundations, those are things that can't ever be changed. And as long as I got a solid foundation like that, my motivation is always going to be there.
Now, with doing it from 4 years old, when did fighting become the emphasis? And if it is, is it more important to be a fighter or is it more important to be a martial artist?
It's more important to be a martial artist. With the mindset that comes along with it, being humble, treating others with respect, having self-respect and self-confidence in yourself. Just always knowing that there's things to learn, not just in MMA, but in life in general. There's no point where you're just done learning. So that's why MMA is so beautiful to me, because there's never a point where you stop learning.
Have you had any concussions, or have you noticed any problems at all with thinking from sparring too much? And is that ever a concern? Is that something you look at?
Yeah, I've been told that sparring too much is a problem. I try to when I'm in training camp, spar hard twice a week versus some of these guys like to do it 3 times a week, and that's way too damaging on the body. Everyone here has had a concussion before, some more than others, but
how hard would it be to stop fighting because of something like that? Do you think you would be able to, if it ever came to that point where, okay, I'm starting to take damage, I've had a couple knockouts in training or something like that, do you think, at what point does your body and your health come first?
When I start to feel the change, if there is a change, and if my family, definitely steps in and says something, I know they wouldn't say anything, unless there was something really wrong. And, they always care, so whatever they say, regardless if I agree with it or not, it's because they care. And if it did come to that point, where I was taking too much damage with my body, I would step away from fighting, but I wouldn't step away from coaching. I love the sport way too much to ever fully walk away. No fighter ever fully walks away from fighting, so.
Coaching children as well?
Yes.
Okay, so what have what changes have you seen in kids? You know, is it a good thing, or are you making fighters? Are you making violent kids, or you know, or is it a positive thing? What are you doing for these kids?
I think it's a great thing. It's positive. You know, definitely humbles them. And definitely, you know, disciplines them. You know, we're not teaching these kids to go out in the schoolyard and, you know, oh hey, I could break your arm. No, we're teaching them to be confident in themselves. You know, we help build their, you know, physical skills like coordination. You know, help get them in shape.
And do you also teach adults that don't want to fight? And if so, are you seeing changes in these people?
Oh yeah, I love coaching adults, and I definitely see a change in people, especially, you know, when they don't want to fight. They ask a ton of questions, you know, and what I really like about coaching adults is, you know, you get people from all different types of, you know, ethnic backgrounds, social backgrounds, and when they come in here eager to learn, then like no matter how different we are, we connect on that level. You know, when I'm teaching them something that I'm passionate about, and you see that change in that person, you know, they totally open up to you. So being a coach here and, you know, meeting all these different types of people, it helps you really just, you know, get along with all different types of personalities.
Do you feel a sense of loyalty to this team? Is this someone
Yeah,
that
definitely.
you're going to stay?
I've been with this team for over 10 years, you know, and I grew up 4 years old just dreaming about being on this team, you know, so just being in this building means a lot to me. And, you know, being around these guys that I grew up watching on TV, you know, means the world to me. And there is a good sense of loyalty. There's, you know, definitely a brotherhood here, you know, and we might make fun of each other, you know, give each other a hard time, but at the end of the day, like, we're always, you know, in each other's corner. Just like when I lost, you know, some of the guys that make fun of me, tease me or whatever, it's all out of fun. You know, those were the guys that were first, you know, picking me up when I lost. And, you know, that really showed me, like, you know, they don't mean nothing by it. They're trying to give somebody a hard time, you know. Like, we're all AKA. You know, we all bleed together, sweat together. You know, we're a brotherhood. I really just am proud of the fact that, you know, experiencing those ups and downs, that, you know, I have a solid family that's behind me no matter what. Because even when I did take that loss, like, there was nothing but, you know, positive, you know, encouragement, you know, coming in, and that makes me really proud to keep on going, and it motivates me just to keep on going more and more and more. And I feel that MMA really brings out, you know, the best in somebody, or it really reveals who somebody is, you know, because in fighting there's no room to be fake.